Hello there everyone and welcome back. Sadly, my streak is over. I have suffered my first real loss with this team, at least ever since that abysmal effort that I had way back at the start of the season with the Nurgle team. So I like to think I'm doing really well with that said, although I think that was also a good demonstration that I still have to get used to the idea of all these unique traits that now my team is kind of exhibiting, with two skinks that in all honesty didn't really do anything I want to argue for that last match, so they just inflate my points it felt like, and I mishandled Masteko and Expetil quite notably, whereas Expetil was kind of tied up by the damn stand firm dwarf that I willingly walked into. So I was not able to take full advantage of Mighty Blow to try and knock out and stun any of these dwarf players for at least the second half, and of course, it is again a bit of a learning experience with break tackle since there was an actual opportunity for me to blitz the ball runner. It seemed like it anyway. I just was not really expecting it to work for what is it, foregoing kind of keeping my sore eyes safe instead. But there was a window for it that I scoffed at, never mind the fact that we had really bad rolls for when I did remember to utilize it properly. It was only downside that I had to roll Snake Eyes and I still forgot to do my blitz before making that move, so even if I were to succeed, I would not have done what I would have liked there alas, but it's a learning experience. There's a lot of nuance to skill and I feel like it is incredibly powerful if utilized properly. Since ideally I want to have just use it to kind of free Mastekuet and ideally another Sorai from tackle zone so I can reposition really well. I kind of was not ready to go all out aggression. I think that's a fair assumption to make, but hopefully I will learn quickly. And with Kungwa kind of out for the match, I actually have dropped down my points quite a notable amount, thankfully. This is kind of more of a boon in a limited extent than a penalty to me, since Kungwa is now almost as much as Krosa was at level 1. I'm just going to be pretty fragile when people start getting knocked out since I'm not going to have a replacement for him. That's the only big thing. And hopefully it is going to probably take a little bit more developing, so these two skinks are more of a long-term investment, since again, they didn't do anything against dwarves, but of course when they all have not break tackle, but when they all have tackle, which negates my dodge, they're kind of screwed no matter what, despite my best intentions. And we were face off against someone with 300 games under their belt, so they had the opportunity to make the perfect team. I just tried to do what I could to deal with it. But that's behind us. Let's go and make ourselves a brand new win streak, shall we? Well, this is going to be interesting. 1,000-point Lizardman team. And I'm not going to buy anything to make things even more complicated, because hell, they could get the big giant ogre, is it? It is a brand new team though, so, and it's a mirror match no less, so this is going to be interesting. I just wish I could browse to peruse what to go for. Oh, 2 rerolls. Let me see, you had 2 rerolls to begin with already. Oh, it's a brand new player. At least, well, considering it's a summer sale, I don't know what to honestly expect, but they have 3 rerolls. They got everything plus an extra skink. So that's where all this comes in. And they got a wizard to boot. So they're throwing everything, including the kitchen sink, at me. But they have the same rerolls as me, so that easily negates a lot of those points. No star players, so I don't have to worry about them having someone that's really impactful. But they do have the wizard, which can always be annoying. But I do have block, which will help us tremendously. Lizard power. I agree. Hail to that. It's going to be an interesting one since this is my first mirror match, and it's definitely a different mix-up since the skinks and Sorai are definitely mobile. Do I go on defensive again? Since I have the better skills, so you think I would be really good on defensive. Unless my opponent burns their wizard on my half, or at least on this half rather. And I have break tackles, so I would like to think I'm well equipped for this. with 3 blocks and guard on on Krosa. Should be helpful, I won't argue. Just depends on how skilled my opponent is, I suppose. And Mastekwa, I want you in the middle. You're going to be convenient. And I have no replacements, let's keep that in mind, so... Ideally, I want to avoid having the skinks taking damage, unless it's no more riskier than my Sorai maybe getting hit, since I don't have to worry about them abusing block in any form. But if injuries start happening, I can almost expect my opponent might quit out there early or forfeit the match, if they get some serious injuries really early. And I do have guard to make it a little bit difficult for them. We have the same strength, unless they have 2 Sorai on the sides here. I'm just making notes of their formation there. Trying to see if I can loom that it's a brand new opponent that may not be skilled at Blood Bowl or not, and I'm going to see here, because I could easily blitz the skink or blitz the Sorai if that event happens. In this case, I get a reroll. Mainly due to the fact that I have fan factor, is it? Well, we both rolled 1s. That is an amazing way to start off, isn't it? And I get +2 fame because of all my fan factors, so that might be important for those type of events. Although, how the hell am I going to spend 4 rerolls? The obvious answer is to get greedy, if I were to be serious. And this gives them, well, the 1 dice at least. They'll start off with a good roll, though. And with 3 rerolls, they kind of could afford it to an extent. Skull, reroll that please. A push, I'll take it, but Krosa, alas, is going to take a 2 dice block. There's not much I can do about that, alas. Ooh, at least I got lucky there on the dice rolls. So far, this first turn is immediately doing so much more better for me than it was with the dwarves. Oh yeah, and you technically did have the mobility to go around and maybe hit my skinks, I think. So that was always a risk there, that they could have just rushed me down. And the ball's in like the worst spot, as far as like them getting perfect position to go wherever they wish. But I have 3 skinks, one of which is strength 3, so... yeah, they are plain risque. They do have dodge, so in all seriousness, instead of a skink attacking them, I really would love to have Mastekwa charge that bastard. With break tackle, well, all these are tied up, so Axe Matil could do it as well. And in all honesty, Axe Matil would be better for the injury chance. So, I think what we're seeing is an inexperienced player, one that I am going to abuse heavily. Yeah, because right off the bat you see 2 dice with a block. This is not going to be pretty. Especially since the strategy against Lizardmen is ideally to kill off the skinks as effectively as possible. And look who they're tied up with. So, enjoy this block. And that's a stun, so that temporarily knocks one out. And I would like to get away from the Sorai here. It's just going to be a little bit awkward, unless I can deny some assists, which I am willing to do. I was talking about how the strategy says kill skinks, and I'm kind of leaving my strength 3 skink to suffer the same fate, in all honesty. But, I'm just going to block and knock him down. As much as I would like to keep away from the Sorai, probably not going to happen there. Unless I got a straight up pow there. Now, Mastekwa, you have break tackle, but not a whole lot you can do here, but I can make a cage. I would like to screen the ball carrier instead, but if they get all pows, this is a big, massive window I don't want to deal with. That's the only thing I'm afraid of. But I can pow you back really quickly, so we'll do that. Sadly, only a push, but considering the first 2 rolls are going well, I'll take it. Two dice there. one dice there unless I risk a skink, which don't know if I want to do. Let's get Masteko in a good spot first. I need to make sure this area is secure somehow, because they can easily grab the ball back from me if I were to try for it now. I'm going to burn the reroll here for this, since I have plenty to spare, and it was not needed. Only thing I'm afraid of is what happens on this side if I fail these rolls. Who on all honesty would I try and knock down first? I like to think I can get a 2-dice block here to maybe free up my Sorai a bit, or at least start knocking down theirs. Okay, stuns are really damn helpful. Less blocks for them. Now, stay near their Kroxigor or not is the ultimate question. Yeah, just knock him next to Krosa. Ties him up even better. That's what Krosa is best for with that prehensile tail. And I also gotta remember they have that prehensile tail too with that said. So right away, even with Masteko with break tackle, is going to be a little more riskier than usual. So the only thing I'm afraid of is if they effectively push in through here. Playing super risque. I can abuse that. I can certainly abuse that. Because now, you kind of made it a little bit difficult for your Sorai up here to blitz me. Since you can't go straight through now, and even then I think it would still go for it. Which I think we see my opponent's willing to commit to. Also, gotta remember, a damn wizard could be problematic too. Are you gonna follow? I don't say. They're still deciding, or they're not aware of it. One of those two things, maybe. Tasty, tasty skink. I would love to block you. Oh, bonehead, that's unfortunate. And they burnt their second reroll. So that is convenient for me. Now, what is my ultimate goal that I want here? Ideally, get as much experience as possible, especially on some of my level 1 Sorai. So I should look for a window if possible to have Oratol get the ball. Well, in all honesty, if he ever gets MVP, he's going to get a level up. So I should probably prioritize Gorpek and Gore, which the problem with that is they are kind of in the front line. That's going to be incredibly difficult to do. More so to get him out of this tackle zone than anything else. And you are free and you have a blitz. Oh, they're going for a skink. They see blood, but just not blood for the ball carrier. Now, are you going to follow up and give me a 2-dice or not? Nope. My opponent's learning, assuming they are brand new and don't really know what they're doing. Because I approve of this play to an extent. Since now I can't just sprint on through. Let alone get a free block on that Sorai either. So I was talking about how I need to free up one of my 2 linemen. That's not really a problem anymore if... Oh. I stunned you with Krosa. I was wondering why you didn't get up. Okay, so all I have to do is push you back, ideally knock you down. And then I got an easy window to push on through. So let's merge some skinks. And I would like to knock the Sorai down first. Oh, and you just got up, so that's why. And it's a 1-dice block. Try as I might. So much for 3-dice block when the 1-dice is really risky. And I have 4 rerolls. I should seriously consider getting greedy with these blocks, but I'll save it till after the main moves have been dealt with. Mainly Krosa. And you are strike 3. And I'm not afraid to blitz this either. Actually, Mesteka honestly would be better with break tackle, and a good opportunity to burn said reroll too. And I get the POW for my efforts. Now, where do I want to put you next, Mesteka? It's a big question. Because I didn't really plan this. Well, I do have my Skink and Sorai over here on the right to kind of provide a little bit of cover. Now it's the big one that matters most. At least that's a safe reroll, if nothing else. Since even if the Bonehead were to, or the Loner were to fail, I could still enact my turn. I just would have loved that to be a POW. But I now have a pathway up. Oh wow. I had a pathway up. Yeah, I have multiple pathways up now. I just gotta move Gore. I don't want to BM my opponent, since I am going to be trying to hand off to... And I don't have a reroll available. That's important to know for this maneuver. So before I move anyone and try freeze go for it, since I'm okay with dropping the ball, I just want to make sure everyone's in position to protect said ball. And that probably was not a good position. With that said, because I think that blocks you now, does it? Yeah, now it's 2 go for it if I were to do that. So maybe it's not as an airtight cage as I like, but at least it's one I can work with. And you are going to tie up these guys pretty well, and I have another Skink as well. I think I'll worry about that after the go for it, though. I might regret this. I might. Well, I was willing to accept that. Since there's no Skinks nearby is the main thing. So it's not like they can at least easily pick up the ball. I just maybe should have got up with Gorpek first. That was a bit of an oversight on my part. Hello there, Fredmo. Welcome to the stream. I'm just now noticing your chat, so... And damn it, I forgot to put timestamps on. But I'm no longer in a tackle zone with the ball. Oh, they do have a Skink. They have a reroll, so they could try something here. But that was their entire turn at least, so... I can still work with this. This is part of the reason why I need Gorpek up. To kind of at least make it a little bit harder for him to blitz. And there's the skull, but you burnt your last reroll. So the greed is going to punish you heavily. And this foul could cost you immensely, due to the fact you need to roll a 10 for crying out loud. It was close to a Snake Eyes. It was really damn close to a Snake Eyes. Them permanently losing a Sore Eye would be really well felt. And I have sidestep on Karnox, so Karnox is perfectly safe. Never mind the fact it's still a 1 dice block for him. Now they get a 2 dice block, but they can't really push me out without... And that skull, you cannot do anything about that. Sit yourself down. And I had sidestep again, so unless they took all these spaces somehow, I am fine. I could just go wherever I wish. Let's do the proper thing now and actually get my players up, though. Oh, now they notice. The slacker. So I have a Strength 3 Skink in perfect striking distance. But I have 2 Skinks that I can put here too. For the same effect without doing a go for it. I just would love one of my Sorai would block to kind of do that. So I could have done that a tiny bit better. And you would have to make 2 dodges to get out. And break tackle, there's no way I can get you out there anywhere close. Nope, not in the slightest. But I am still likely going to use Break Tackle anyway, if nothing else, this maybe support Krosa. Having a skink here anyway kind of limits where they can move to. So I still like it. This gives me the 2 dice. I think I want to push them up here rather than down, in all honesty, so let's do this instead. What do we get? What do we get? Sadly, no POW. This is where the greed wants to come into effect, but it's a 1 in 6 unless I want to take them both down, so it's not likely to work for me. And it did not pay off, but it didn't cost me either, thankfully. But now I don't have that reroll for Masteko if that goes poorly, is what I'm kind of afraid of. So I guess the idea at this point is to try and make it difficult for a skinky friend to make it down here. They can't touch down at least, unless they hand off way over here. So priority is to make sure skinks are not operation at full efficiency. Screw the Sorai for now. And you got 3 dice there, Karnox. You're fine. Ooh, this is tempting. Do I go for the both down or not? I was considering the both down to kind of increase the chance of having them all knocked down, but it's not like they can really touch down. I'm just wondering when I should seriously consider that, though. And this is a good sandwich here for these 2 Sorai. With Krosa having guard, it's a 1 dice block on the Sorai. Actually, no, it's 2 red dice, so they're pretty much screwed there. And I do have block, and this is a 1 dice. Do I tempt it? I'm more like going around. Both which is 1 in 6 chance, let's be honest. Same odds. Just, what's the difference is whether this gets knocked down as a bonus, is kind of what I'm referring to. So you're easily going to get knocked down, Gorpek, is what it's looking like. The skink will likely have to go down here, and that is perfect position for Masteko. Oraptol's going down, though. Survived armor break. I kind of saw that being a good result for him. So the skink's perfectly free now. As well as this one Sorai to kind of get a 2 dice block. Ooh, you're gonna blitz. You kind of forgot the fact that it is a strength 3 skink. I know it's tempting to kill the nice and plump skink, but it probably wasn't the best choice. And Masteko survives the block there, which is perfect because of what I was saying. Break tackle, he's in the perfect position to dive bomb the skink if it goes for a run, if it tries to go for a touchdown next turn. So Masteko, where I need him to be. I just can't roll snake eyes is all it comes down to. We've seen how that went last time. But I have faith because that's all I can really rely on when we're playing with dice after all. Where are you going? Yes, indulge me. Mastekowit's getting hungry. I may seriously consider reroll, but I think the best idea is to get 3 dice out of this. And then we're gonna murder us a skink. Children, avert your eyes. Actually, we're gonna murder multiple skinks here. Unless I'm so daring to try... Well, we'll save that for last, since I want my reroll here. Alright, that's not a go for it, and I have break tackle. Dice, don't fail me now. And they have a wizard, let's keep that in mind too. Thank you, Dice. You are generous this day. Only because I gamed the mechanics, though. Now, I would love to have another skink down there. I kind of wish I did a GFI to kind of prepare for this eventuality. Since it's still a 50-50 chance the skink can at least pick up the ball. Never mind the utter fact that they dodge and all that. There's a lot of rolls they have to make is all I'm saying. Now that that's out of the way, let's get everyone up before I forget. Although, Aratzl, I worry you might have your armor broken, and I would love for you to stay around and maybe get a level up at some point this match. And I get a 1 dice on the Sorai, which is tempting. 2 dices all around, I love it. Let's have some fun with this. Sadly, no block, so I'm not going to have as much fun as I wished. But it's a start. Now, Krosa, I am terrified about a bonehead here, because that's going to ruin this formation right now. So we save you for last in case of the reroll. Actually, can you just split? That's 1 dice. I was wondering maybe if you could get a 2 dice. And you are Axmatil with Mighty Blow. And that skink felt it. No long-term effect, so he's safe. So now, 3 more SPP. Now I'm tempted to actually give Axmatil the ball if I were to be serious. I really need a Sorai to have tackle to deal with those dodgy problems, like skinks no less. That's what my thinking is, but maybe I'm thinking too many steps ahead, if I were to be honest. Let's focus on actually getting the ball and then getting across half the map. Because I may have did it to myself not picking up with my 1 Sorai after all, to get myself in this current predicament. Now what's left? Just Krosa and 2 skinks. Which again, I think it's safer just to go here first. Then do Krosa if I have a reroll. Well, that answers that question. Do we Snake Eye? Well, I'd rather Snake Eye there than when Mastekowicz trying to dodge. I just would have loved to penalize that skink even further for picking up that ball. Because you know, with what we've been seeing, they're willing to try for it. And I don't like that prospect at all. Whew. That was scary. Now... Okay, now that the heart palpitation's over, let's relish. Well, I would love to get 3 dice here to bash the skink, but I need you to pick up the ball as well, there, Pog. And I can get no other assistance here. Do I actually blitz with you, Mastekowicz, since... I think I do, just to tie up this 1 Sorai, maybe? Although... That's still a 1 dice block. I'm just wondering if I should blitz here or not, is the honest question. Another Snake Eye after another Snake Eye. I'll take that. Ow. I only ask that, that they're not serious injuries, damn it. I don't like hurting a fellow lizardman like this. But now this gets me 2 Sorai over here, which I think I'm inclined to do, but I have block. I'd rather tie you up, in all honesty. And I burnt my last reroll too, so... I'm wondering if I even should pick up the ball or not. And just have the skink stand next to it. Although, all their skinks are over here and they're currently tied up. So maybe I shouldn't be worried. What I am worried about is it going off the pitch and then flying to a random direction. That's what I'm honestly afraid of. Because who knows what skink might grab it. I'm just wondering what essentials do I want to do first. Well, obviously down here, because I have guard, which is going to be amazing for this area. So bash all the Sori you can. Sadly, that's a 1 dice until Krosa does something. Only a push, which I'm a little bit sad I rolled that dice because now I'm in an... Well, yeah, I put myself in a position where Krosa can't tie up 2 Sori now. This is kind of part of the reason why I was reluctant to do this last turn. And let's see, they are tying each other up, so maybe I throw another one in, but... Actually, I'll leave you here, Gordy, because Axmatil again needs a level up. And I wanted to push you back further. Still no POWs, this thing is resilient, but what I'm going to do is keep it next to Ho, is it? Ho the swamp? Which one skink is this? Mestawats? I have no idea how I'm going to pronounce that. It's a wonder I can even pronounce my own skinks, or players. Which in all honesty, I'm probably not saying properly anyway. But let's assume that I am. Just to humor myself. Alright, we're doing good here. We are spreading them out a little bit, so... But Krosa already kind of had his sweet spot kind of broken already. And the only thing left is this 1 skink, which... It's a 1 in 9 chance to dodge, so I'm going to take it. And at least this sort of secures the ball. Ooh, excuse me. 1 in 3 chance? We got it. Now let's start playing out what can go where. Outside dodges. So these 2 are down, so I'm safe basically right here. And then next turn I can probably sprint up past Krosa. I just gotta give Axmatil an opportunity to run up there too. But with no rerolls, I probably am not gonna have an opportunity to actually hand off like I want. Since this is where I ideally like to keep my rerolls, if the dice go well, since I'm likely gonna burn them recklessly for the pickup, or the handoff attempt. Still no armor break. I'm thankful there. What are you doing? What are you doing? I freed you up and... Aw. How adorable. He thinks he can push me out. Isn't that cute? They could still hurt Karnox, so I'm still a little bit worried, but as far as getting surfed, not so much. Alright, so now's a blitz opportunity here. I didn't consider the fact that Mestekowit probably should not have been base to base. But I get lucky in this case. Yeah, and you stay there, so that was a good choice. Because in all honesty, going down here might have been better to at least that way make it so maybe I didn't have to dodge. Ooh. Well, the red dice. I would have loved a skull somewhere in that red dice, but... No dice. No such luck. But now Krosa's back in his sweet spot, though. So I gotta not squander it again. Mestekowit. Break tackle's eventually gonna fail, so I might as well try and play it smart. Only problem is, Axmatil's the only one that can blitz there. Unless I want to risk Mestekowit, so I think we do this the proper way. Screw handing off to Axmatil as much as I would love to. We'll get him to be the playmaker he was meant to be. And now with 2 dice to my name, we're going to see if we can murder us a Sori. Now, what do we get? Do we break the armor? A knockout for good measure. Mighty Blow yeah, Mighty Blow is what caused it for us too. Nicely done. Oh, and you're blitz, so let's give Mestekowit a nice dual dice there too. Only problem is I'm not going to have much support here, but Krosa's like the best defense there. I do need some kind of defense, though. So I'm thinking maybe going over here, because these skinks are slippery after all. Unless I can knock one of them down, maybe. With one dice, that's not looking promising. Let's see, if you were bold enough to try to dodge, that would be 2 dodges. So what I'm going to do here is make you do multiple dodges. As many dodges as possible. I just gotta think on the best positioning for that. Since I can't really see my own tackle zones. And knock you down for good measure. That might have helped with my decision making too, to be honest. So I'm gonna leave you standing. And Krosa and all of them are gonna have some fun with these two. No blocks, sadly, but I did everything I needed to. This is arguably the best case situation, because then I'm not tempting fate with Krosa boneheading. So I'm fine with this situation. Both down. Please knock yourself down. Aw, they didn't have the balls. Skull, turnover already. Now's our chance. Although, they do have a wizard. Let's keep that in mind. I think we have 2 skinks to go up there, but that might be what happens next turn, which in all honesty is a good thing for me. It means they burn it for this half as opposed to my half. Now, anything else I want to do besides the usual? 2 dice block's always nice on you. It goes without saying. And sadly I would have to go for it if I want to try that. Since I want Axpatil to try and get more experience, but I'm probably being greedy, aren't I? The bloodlust is starting to get to me there with seeing that I only need 3 more experience to get a level up for him. So I'll see you in the next half, buddy. Well, maybe not even in the next half. If you're gonna get knocked out completely. So that's what, 2 Sorai knocked out? And with me having the ball, that basically just means that they only have 1 chance for him to recover. Which I am happy with. Ooh, I can actually get 2 dice on this Croxagore. Let's try that. Since you cannot reach my skinks, can you? Nope, you cannot, so this is worth doing. Oh, I can even blitz. If only I had thought of that earlier, damn it. Masteka would have been perfect for this situation. Well, I gotta burn my blitz on something, so let's do it here. Only a push, but those 2 should be able to tie it up decently enough. And Krosa, just knock this down in case it tries to dodge. Well, at least one of their Sorai is down, so at least they still have to do a dodge if they're going to try to break out. Karnox is still safe. Like I said, sidestep is going to be great for his situation. I can hug this line as much as I wish. Until they decide to infest everything to get rid of this damn skink. Which would definitely be a benefit for me, but right now they're kind of short on people. Hell, yeah, we took out 5... Oh no, they already had an extra skink, so we took out 4 of them so far. 2 of which are injured. So, we're looking good on the numbers front. Oh, I was wondering if my opponent was AFK or not. Or if it was still my turn, in all honesty. Now, is my opponent going to wizard? Apparently, they're not unless they're waiting until the end of the turn. Oh, that's kind of what I was expecting, which is why I regret that bonehead. Thankfully, I get away with it. Thankfully. And Mastekwa, can you reach up there? Hard to say. It's probably not worth doing due to 1 in 6 versus 1 in 9 to dodge for a skink anyway. They tried for the play. Oh no, technically they didn't, actually. They're gonna try it again. And fail. What's it gonna be? A skull or a skull? Your choice. You chose skull. No. Like I said, 1 in 9 is probably better, just to tempt this, but... And those are red dice. Oh, who am I kidding? I can get some assists here. Get that 2 dice I want to kind of give me a little bit of insurances. Of course, I had to put the Sorai in the worst spot possible. Yeah, Krosa can fix up here. I can use a blitz for this. This gives me 2 dice, but now I'm just wondering, is doing all these blocks in that more riskier? Blocking this one, then blocking this one. In this case, it's paying off. And that should give me 2 dice there really easily. And all I need is a push. But I'll take a knockdown too. Now we go in for the touchdown. Not quite my dream scenario, but I'll take it. And they do have a Bloodweiser babe, let's keep that in mind. So there's a good chance the Sorai can recover. So let's don't count him out yet. Okay, we know you're out. Sorai are up. So they're just down 1 player with the spare that they have. So it's still anybody's game. It's just a question on how they use their wizard. The only sad thing I'm sad about is the niggling injury we did on one of these skinks, but thankfully it's only a single skink. So it could be easily replaced if they're inclined to do that. Especially with Stunty, keep that in mind, so that just compounds on top of each other, I think. So that skink probably needs to go. Otherwise it's going to be injured on, what, a 6 at this point? Let's see, it treats 7 as a knockdown. So rolling a 6 would technically be a knockdown with that niggling injury, I think is how it works. Now I got a lot of decisions here with all these players up front. I'm just wondering how to best use it. Well, without a doubt, with guard, I definitely want Krosa to be in here to take advantage of that. Blitz is always a possibility with such a bold maneuver. Because if I were to bash with these two, it would still... Yeah, they get strength there and I get 1 strength, so it's still a 1 dice block. So realistically, I would need to do this. Now the big question, can I get enough assists here to make this worth my while? Because this is easily being a lot of dice I have to do. Actually, I want Axmatul to be my blitzer anyway. Just all my Sora up front anyway. Well, I do have Strength 3 Skinks, so they can serve as a blitz. I'm just wondering how to best do this. Because I have 4 Skinks for assists. It just comes down to the pushes and the dice results. And Krosa is going to make these 3 blocks really damn efficient for me. So I'm not too worried about that. So I get another reroll, so that's twice in a row. Twice in a row. Yep, Fan Factor, the fame, which is what I got as a result of the Fan Factor, is working out well for me since we're rolling the exact same dice. Ooh, good spot there too for me. So let's start off with the easy 2 dice block, shall we? I'm not going to follow up there. I want to see what kind of window presents itself first. I do want the 2 dice on the Croc score. Much more tempting and same risk. I'm not going to succumb to that greed just yet, since I had 4 rerolls last time, or last half, and still burnt them all relatively quickly. And I do have a blitz. I'm just realizing the awkward predicament I put myself in now. Because these guys are only able to get 1 dice block except on the right side here. So the left is kind of have to fend for themselves. Is what it's looking like. And with that said, this is probably the angle I'm going to attack from. And we'll get our dice blocks on the skink there. I'm just wondering, if I blitz with you, it's still 1 dice block. I was tempted to blitz here and then have the Sorai bash the skink for maybe a 3 dice block. But it does not look like it's going to happen here. It's still 1 dice block, damn it. Actually, that is still a 2 dice block if I bash the skink back. It's just not a knockdown. So to Hexel, get your blitz, your 2 dice block, and see what you get me. And you don't have sidestep, let's keep that in mind too. Oh, and I didn't realize I have nowhere skinks right now. So let's deal with you. I'm feeling the greed, but I'm going to save that reroll for the pickup. Okay, good thing I saved that reroll. What happens here? And otherwise, I'm in good shape for maybe the next turn. Oh, I never did block with Krosa yet, did I? That could have solved all my problems, maybe. Well, not really. Since these guys would still have to do a 1 dice block. I just wasn't willing to blitz, is what it was. Alright, that's as good of a turn as I could do. And I am not tempting that. Well, I kind of have to, because... Actually, I don't. They don't have the mobility to kind of go around and also hit the skink. So I'm fine with not trying that. Although, in all honesty, it probably was better, even if I did get a bolt down or a skull, because my Sorai is still blocking the path. So maybe I'm just overthinking a little bit. Skull, I like this start, but you have a reroll. Push, push, yes. Where are you taking him? We're gonna have a Croxagore fighter on our hands, I think. Or actually, we're just going back to turn 1 formation all over again. Boo! Both down. I have block. So this is not gonna be pretty, but that was basically your last move. So you did what you could anyway. We did get the stun though, thanks to the Mighty Blow, I think. Well, no, it was just on the roll itself. Never mind. Now we have an opportunity to push on forward. And now that Axe Matilda is available, or free, I am really itching to get him his level up. Is there a way I can get 2 dice on the Croxagore there, which I think I want to do, because you have block. And I'll save break tackle for later. Since this is kind of the position I want you in, Miss Decoet. Gotta save Crosa for later due to Loner though. Oh yeah, I gotta keep my... I can't really blitz you if I want to blitz the skink as well. But I can push you into the mess on the right. And you do have block. So these skills are definitely paying out well for me. It's just a question on what the wizard's gonna do to kind of mess this up for me. Because Gorpek's not in the most pleasant position at the moment, safe to say. So let's get him some backup, maybe. Well, he's still getting backup, just not as effective backup as I like. And Croesus kind of needs the bash to tie up these 2 Sorai. I think that much is a given. And that's Devil go for it. So we'll bash for Croesus, see what happens here. I'll reroll it. Well, Bonehead really screwed me over that time at least, but Mestequet's still there. I have Skinks to kind of tie him up. And I do have a Strength 3 Skink. Let's keep that in mind here with the ball. So this is not as bad as predicament as it could be, especially since all of these Skinks are free. Let's just make sure they're all positioned properly. With that said. And you don't have sidestep, let's keep that in mind. Although they're not likely to kind of push you off the surf anyway, so you're safe. You're safe there to Hexel. And Axe Matilda, just go up there and be threatening. Roar your mighty predatory roar, especially on this one skink, for he should know fear. Ho of the swamp, or Hoe of the swamp, thought he was safe, but that has changed quickly, hasn't it now? Knockout on the skinky. Always a good feeling. I don't know if I should be offended that I'm saying this, because after all, I'm the one playing Lizardmen. I don't want my skinks getting injured, yet I'm enjoying it nonetheless. Something is terribly wrong here. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm taking too much joy in murdering the other team. That's what it is, right? Even though they are technically my doppelgangers. Now, I'm waiting for the wizard. My opponent may have forgotten about them. Oh, what happened here? Oh, bonehead. That was... Well, they're long lost cousins after all if they're gonna bonehead together. So that's always a plus, right? They can relate. Especially with this sore eye sandwich that I kind of put myself in, didn't I? You gotta reroll. These rerolls are coming fast and hard. I burnt half mine, my opponent burnt 2 of theirs. The skink is free to do who knows what skinky stuff. And it was short-lived. So in truth, I should go for a touchdown, but I know what my priorities are, since I already have the lead after all. I just hate to think that I'm BMing my opponent by trying to do this. And I gotta keep in mind, yeah, there was a skink there. So we're gonna burn the blitz on this. I want to look for a possibility of handoff. Sadly, no opportunity here just yet. Although technically, the act of trying to stall up the clock is a bit BM as well, isn't it? Let's be honest. Since I probably would do that anyway in this circumstance. If I wasn't contemplating trying to do a sore eye touchdown. What do we get? Nothing. Not the result I wanted. But I guess I'll go with it for now. And Crosa, you're only tying up 1 person at the moment, so let's fix that. Both down. Thank you, block. Now let's get this mess all sorts of disorganized, or hell. I need more Sorai to... Yeah, I'm fine up there. I just need to help support down here is what I need. Which is not going to work very well there. Yeah, this is what I want to do. I was thinking maybe tying up these 2, but this is so much better for Crosa. Maybe not the angle for this one Sorai block, but that's not a big issue. Since I have enough players here to kind of intrude on every angle. I'm still waiting for the wizard. I may regret the wizard, or remind them of the wizard, but I'm in such a good position that even a lightning bolt is not a big deal. Even if I were not to get the touchdown. So what are we looking like here? 1 skink. Oh, it is a strength 3 skink, keep in mind, so it's still 2 red dice. Well, I was convenient there. That's part of the reason why I don't like re-rolling. Well, it wasn't a good dice roll for him anyway, let's be honest. And I want to blitz with you there, Axatool. So let's try this. Aww. It was a brand new player. What can I say? Well, it was arguably a brand new player anyway, but they took a lot of risk too. I don't fault them too much. This is definitely not... This is a tense game. This is not for the faint of heart. And with my +2 fame, I'm getting a ridiculous amount of wealth here. My treasury apparently is 200,000 for crying out loud. So now I have to figure out what I'm going to do with this money. Because that's 50 extra team value points there. And I got my fan factor back, but... maybe a bit of an underwhelming match as far as competitively. Since, outside of how risky my opponent was being, I was kind of in control of that the entire time. And while Axmatul did not get his touchdown I would have liked, Aratul is getting a level up finally. And this is what I have in mind with Aratul. Although, what am I trying to look for? I can't remember honestly. I think I was looking for a level up button, but that's not where it was. And my team value is 1640. I'm seriously considering getting rid of a reroll to kind of send this out some. I have a week to think on it in all honesty, so I'm not too worried. Since it's gone on long enough, I think we're fine with this being the single match. It's not like a really fast concede. But Aratul, what do you get? Ooh. This is an interesting one. Because the main conception is to always get block as your level 2 skill, but I was talking about a little bit, I need something to help burn my rerolls, because I don't plan on being greedy ideally when I don't get the result I want with my blocks, so what I was ultimately planning on doing is getting Frenzy. Where is it anyway? Since this has potential for me too, and I'm planning on making Aratul a Frenzy Sorai anyway, but with the Devil Roll, what does that get me? Dodge is a big one. Block is arguably better, but Dodge could be really nice there, especially if I had Block on Aratul already. And Sidestep could be useful, but it's more of for later on when my Sorai are already developed. Passing skills like Leader, which give me an additional reroll, but since my Sorai rolled doubles, I think that would boost his points by 30 or something instead of 20. So it's not a significant gain extra reroll here, as opposed to my Dwarf opponent from last week, who had this skill. And I don't... I'm just wondering, I'm trying to think on what I should seriously consider. I want maybe to stick with Frenzy, because the real one to go for otherwise with these doubles is Dodge. I have a week to think on it, in all honesty, because I could easily get Frenzy afterwards. It would at least make him a lot more survivable, at least. It goes without saying. Having block and dodge is a big deal. So I'm going to hold on to that. Good God, I have a lot to think about with that said. Do I get rid of the reroll, cut my points down by 30, or do I go with dodge or not, in place of Frenzy, which is what I was thinking again for Aratul. So it was a short but sweet match. Thank you everyone for tuning in. We are now back to a full roster, and I'm expecting things to get rough from here on out. Especially with what my team value currently is. It goes without saying.